SCP-001, the Gate Guardian.
There's this giant angel holding a massive sword made entirely of pure fire, just standing in front of a gate, and it doesn't even crack a smile. Anyone who even thinks about getting close before they can even say, "Mom!" gets turned to dust. The Foundation has it surrounded with cameras, sensors, and slim hopes, sealed off, but still nobody dares to step forward. Its sword is like it's beefed up against time itself in space. Just one swish and proof, there's nothing left. One time a scientist dreamed this guardian said, "You're not allowed in." He still can't sleep for fear. Some folks say, that gate is the gateway to heaven. Others say, it's the end of the world. The angel doesn't eat, doesn't pee or poop, just stares with a back-off glare. The Foundation wrote, don't engage with it. Don't even think about it. Everything about it is mysterious, but one thing's for sure. Whatever it's guarding has nothing to do with us. So please don't go near it because the gate guard is no joke.
SCP-343, God.
There's this friendly old guy with a white beard, and he's wearing clean clothes. He claims he's God. One day, without even being invited, he showed up at the Foundation's site. He sat down and said, "Want some tea?" He can walk through walls, make food appear, and spill your secrets, but always with a smile. The staff, they love him, but they're a bit scared of him. Well, he's God, right? No guard tries to stop him because he says, "I've got clearance. I built you." When he leaves, he doesn't leave any trace except for a weird feeling of peace and fear. The Foundation doesn't know if he's truly God or just some insanely powerful being who knows how to joke. Once he said, "I'm everything, even these locks," and then vanished. His reports are the least informative of all because he won't let anyone write anything. But if one day you see an old man walk into the middle of the lab and say, "Have a seat," just sit down.
SCP-4999, someone to watch over us.
When someone is all alone and abandoned and about to kick the bucket, some random guy shows up. He lights up a cigarette, says nothing, just sits right next to them till the very last moment. He's got no name, no face you can make out, but man, his presence is something else. So calm. He doesn't judge these folks. Killer, old lady, homeless, doesn't matter. Nobody knows when he's going to show up, but when he does, death feels a bit easier. Not even the Foundation's gear can pin down his location. One time someone tried to talk to him, he just smiled and walked off. It's not a threat, but it's one hell of a secret deep in the dark heart of humanity. They say he might be the angel of death, maybe just a compassionate spirit. But one thing's for sure, when everyone else is gone, he's still there.
SCP-001, when day breaks.
Our beautiful sun? Not anymore. Now it's like a meat soup of death. Its light makes it so that your body melts. You turn into loose jelly and set off chasing the rest. These jellies are happy and friendly, but if they hug you, you're done for. The Foundation has retreated underground, and outside all there is the squish-squish of sunburnt creatures. No light filter or sunscreen does any good. Some folks lock themselves in rooms, but the light eventually finds its way in. The world has turned into a day solar butcher shop with the smell of burning humanity. This scenario shows that even day can become the enemy. So if you see the sun blazing, don't go outside, pull a blanket over your head and pray. The Foundation has just one line written: regard light as the enemy.
SCP-999, the Tickle Monster.
If you're having a crappy day, all you had to do was catch a glimpse of SCP-999, this little orange blob, like it's storing giggles right in its belly. This tiny creature is a total tickle monster, and what it does best is one thing only: making people happy. Anyone who feels it can't stop laughing, and their anxiety just poofs into thin air. Once they tested it on SCP-682, that killer, hateful thing laughed for the first time. Now the researchers are stuck wondering if they should cuddle the goo or freak out instead. The Foundation says this little guy might just be the key to world peace, if people don't glue themselves to it. SCP-999 doesn't eat, but it's crazy about sweets, especially chocolate. If it spots you, it'll roll right over just to give you a hug. Imagine your depression getting tickled away. The Foundation's only warning is, most importantly, don't you dare fall asleep on it.
SCP-3125, Mental Nightmare.
This is one of those things that once you know what it is, you can never unknow it. And well, super quick, you kick the bucket. It's a conceptual entity that only exists in minds and data, not physically. All you got to do is read about it. Then it just starts eating your brain. SCP-3125 consumes info like it's a virus, forcing scientists to wipe their memories. Every time its name's mentioned, destruction kicks off. One researcher once made a tutorial video about it. Now, there's nothing left but ashes. To fight it, you basically have to forget yourself what you're dealing with. Its antidote isn't info, but straight-up oblivion. Kind of like a spoiler virus, just way deadlier. So if one day you hear its name, hit yourself in the head and blank it out. Seriously.
SCP-055, the Anti-Meme.
SCP-055 is that thing nobody's got a clue what it is, because they literally can't know. Like every time someone tries to check it out, a few minutes later, they forget everything. Even the notes they took get erased. Or worse, nobody reads them anymore. Scientists have said over and over, so what is this thing anyway? And then, hey, is this paper blank? It's got this conceptual vanishing act that you can't describe it or even keep it stored. Someone once said, as long as you don't ask what it is, everything's fine. Some folks think the Foundation itself is hiding something on purpose, but who can prove it? Because nobody remembers squat. Maybe it's a huge threat. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Maybe we're staring at it right now and already forgot.
SCP-239, the Witch Child.
There's this 8-year-old girl with God-given powers. Yeah, the real deal. Whatever she believes in actually happens. Imagine if she thinks the world is made of chocolate. Boom, it's chocolate. Her name was Serena Moreland, but now everyone says don't look at her, don't speak to her. The Foundation's told her she's a good witch and she'll save the world from monsters. Why? Because if she thinks a monster's real, it might actually show up. She's kept under artificial sleep because she's only safe in dreams. Researchers tiptoe around her like she's a live bomb. One time she just heard a scary story and then a monster came right through the wall. The Foundation's afraid of her, but they don't want to upset her. Just imagine if she got pissed and said, I want the world to sleep. Boom, eternal night.
SCP-2000, Project Yggdrasil.
This one's buried under the Yellowstone Mountains and looks like a giant science facility, but it's got one very specific job. If the world ends, this machine can rebuild all of human civilization from scratch. It's got DNA stored, memory saved, even fake history it can generate. The Foundation's been testing it to create people, and honestly, some of us might actually be just copies stored deep in its memory waiting to be loaded up. Once it boots up, the whole world gets wiped and rebuilt like a Windows restart. If you're thinking, wait, does that mean we already died once? The answer is maybe. There's a button, and once it's pressed, everything begins. Foundation staff nicknamed it God's Control Z. So please don't press that big red button just for fun, okay?
SCP-2317, the Scarlet Bride.
One of the scariest top-secret Foundation projects, a girl locked up with a really dark secret. SCP-231-7 is the last survivor of 7 sacrifices meant to birth an evil god. Yeah, an apocalyptic delivery, and that little girl is the final barrier. To stop the monster's birth, they run Protocol 110 Montauk on her every single day. No one knows what that protocol is, they only know it must never stop. Staff who've been close to her either go insane or just quit. All the documents are encrypted and only top-level clearance can touch them. Rumor has it, if the protocol ever stops, the world ends right then. And stranger still, the girl herself doesn't say a word. She just stares. That stare, like she already knows what's coming.
SCP-2399, the Storm That Walks.
There's this massive machine, and it's from outer space, like a busted-up Death Star, just stuck in Jupiter's atmosphere. It doesn't even work, and it won't power down. It just goes grr, 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 sparking like crazy. The Foundation says this thing came from another galaxy to destroy Earth, but luckily it crashed. Imagine a killer spaceship with a messed-up GPS ending up in the middle of a storm. Even though it's busted, it's still trying to fix itself, which means it might come for us one day. Lightning's crackling all around it. The closer you get, the more you get fried. Satellites have locked onto it, and the Foundation just prays that it never gets fixed. Researchers have nicknamed it the One Who Walks, and everyone's waiting. Just pray its spare parts don't arrive.
SCP-3000, Anantashesha.
There's this gigantic serpent, hundreds of kilometers long, just sprawled out under the waters of the Bay of Bengal, chilling there. It doesn't eat, doesn't really move, it's just there, tired, sleepy, deadly. But here's the kicker. If anyone gets too close, their memory starts to fade away, like a deep, heavy drowsiness settling in your mind like sediment. The Foundation extracts a substance from it that's used for wiping memories. Yeah, a top-tier memory eraser made from snake oil crafted into this formula. Researchers have to wear special masks and use bright lights so their memories don't slip away. The serpent is still alive, but why won't it budge itself? Maybe one day it'll wake up and say, "All right then, dinner time." At that point, Earth would be like a crispy chip, all snapped to bits.
SCP-2845, the Deer God.
There's this glowing stag with green rings circling its head, and if you stare at it, you might turn into a statue. But not one of the nice ones, a living statue that writhes in agony. This creature is like an alien god that came all the way from space just because it got bored. You can only keep it in check through bizarre rituals. You have to sacrifice a single red banana, dance in a kimono, and shout "Voom" 3 times straight. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Mess up the ceremony, it throws a tantrum. Then the cities shatter like glass. The Foundation built a special hall for it, filled with clowns, masks, and live theater. Every day they put on a show to keep it satisfied, because this stag craves attention. A cosmic influencer, through and through.
SCP-040, Evolution's Child.
There's this sweet little girl, but if she plays with her bunny, that bunny might turn into a flying dragon. Her power? She can reshape the very biology of creatures with her imagination. She could take a cat and make it into a fluffy winged thing. She's not hurting anyone, and she doesn't kill. She just makes everything weird. They take crazy good care of her because her subconscious affects the whole world. If she has a nightmare, new creatures are born. The Foundation built her a safe haven with toys, a caregiver, and of course, bio-gloves. Though she's dangerous, she's incredibly kind and obsessed with shiny tape. The staff love her because she'd never hurt anyone on purpose. But here's a serious tip. If she says she wants to improve your bunny, do not hand it over.
SCP-3812, A Voice Behind Me.
This one, it was just a regular human, but now a multi-layered reality evader. His power to break the laws of physics, logic, narrative, even the author. He's advanced so far that he doesn't even know who he is or where he is. Every moment he rewrites himself like an endless story that's constantly editing. Reality around him cracks apart, things vanish. No lock can hold him because he even erases a lock from the author's mind. The Foundation just tries to keep his location away from the masses, but the truth is, he himself doesn't know where he is, because where has no meaning to him. Scientists have said he has crossed the story's line and looks back at the author. And if one day you feel like someone is editing your life story, it might be him.